What is throwing 3 rocks in a game of rock, paper, scissors called?
I mean, I don't know. Wait, okay. First of all, I definitely didn't know there was a term for that, but I do that.
You throw 3 rocks?
In rock, paper, scissors, I only throw rock.
What?
Because it's...
Wait. Okay, that just adds up. But why? What do you? Is it a strategic thing? You just
so it's semi-strategic, but mainly because it's funny. Because rock is the one where you don't actually do anything, right? Because rock is what your default position is.
Your start is rock.
Yeah, so it's funny because generally you only do best of 3.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny if you beat someone only doing rock, and then they realize because they'll usually realize after 3 that you only are doing rock, and then by that time they will have lost.
That's funny.
So funny. I just go rock, and then rock, and then rock, and then if they lose, I'm just like, you just lost to someone not even doing anything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Does that happen often? Do you win as rock all 3 times?
I mean, I gotta say that after the age of 20, the amount of times I play rock, paper, scissors really,
it definitely
went down, took a nosedive.
Yeah. I think I've had like very big decisions of my life decided on by rock, paper, scissors. Like... Not huge decisions, but like rooms. When I'm moving into an apartment with someone, it's like we'll do rock, paper, scissors over who gets a certain room, and that's like you lose a whole like year of a living situation off of like this.
Yeah, that's a bigger decision than you should leave. Like normally, when I have those issues, it's like you just kind of agree to. The person who wants the room just tries to like pay a bit more, and then you just negotiate a fee of like how much.
You kind of make a pros and cons list,
right? Yeah,
but no, we decided to go the old school route.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, big stakes. Like if you win, it's great. You didn't have to pay any more money, and you got the good room.
If you lose, though, you get really frustrated because you.
Did you lose?
I've lost one. I lost this last year, not the current.
But you've done this more than one time.
Well, actually, this last year was a coin flip, which I think is even more frustrating. Because that's not up to you at all. It's not, which I think makes it a little bit better because there's not as much regret. But you're just like, fuck this coin, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, you're in Europe.
I am. I'm in France right now.
Yep.
You are in outer space?
Yeah. I was.
Like you got me beat.
Yeah, hey, we both decided to travel. I realized because it was mostly because I was just bored earlier today. I'm at my family's house, actually. It's not actually in space. We're not from space. But I got bored, so I was just playing around with Zoom backgrounds. And I thought space would be funny because of the movie we're talking about.
First Man, yeah.
But then I was like, this is also funny because I know Jeff will have a different background today, and this is just me one-upping him.
It's actually... Okay, I gotta say, your color scheme is...
Kind of works, yeah.
Kind of works. Like,
yeah.
I'm into it.
Thank you. But I want to hear about Europe, to be honest. And,
I will do that. There's a cat in the apartment I'm in.
Okay.
And, my phone light also just went out by itself. They do not want you to use the phone flashlight that long. Everything's going off at once.
It's not supposed to happen.
But yeah, there's a cat that I... you're going to have to cut this. So
I won't cut it. I can fill it in if you got to go. I got things to talk about. Okay, so Jeff is going to go take care of the cat. Oh my God, he's like... Yeah. Okay. So I'm wearing this hat for any video callers because, and this, I'll just take this time because I know this is boring and I don't want to put Jeff through it, but my hair's been getting really dry recently, and it's kind of an issue because my scalp has also been really dry, and I thought it was dandruff, but the dandruff shampoo made it worse. So if anyone has any good solutions to that, hit me up. Anyways, Jeff is back.
So I heard all of that because I had the AirPods.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Head and Shoulders usually does the trick, right?
Yeah, I want to try I think Head and Shoulders is the brand I got, and ever since using it, my hair has just gotten itchier, my head. So now I'm starting to think.
I was like, your hair is itchy.
The hair would be
bigger problems.
But now I think I have scalp eczema, which I bought an oil for that, and I'm trying to. But like buying an oil for your hair is hard because you have to get it on the scalp, which means getting it through the hairs. And my hair absorbs shit really easily, so I'm just like I'm.
Are you gonna shave your head?
No, it's like so tempting because it probably would solve a lot of these issues, but hell no, I'm not shaving my head. But
yeah, I mean that's reasonable to not want to do.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
So you have some scalp problems. I'm in France right now.
You're in France. How has it been so far? What was traveling like?
Yeah, I mean I'm still pretty jet lagged, honestly. Yeah, traveling was weird though because obviously it's like COVID times going internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like there was like this piece of paper that I didn't know about that they wanted me to like sign that just is like pretty much they're like, yeah, you swear that you don't have COVID and that you don't knowingly like interact with someone with COVID.
That was just a fan asking for an autograph, to be honest. They just were trying to really.
They're like, sign my COVID form, please.
Yeah. They're like, I got an autograph by Jeff and he doesn't have COVID. Yeah. Double win. Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, besides the whole wearing masks for 8 hours straight on the flight, it wasn't too bad.
Did you because when I had to wear a mask on my flight, that was the longest I had to wear a mask too, but that was only a 3-hour flight compared to an 8-hour.
Oh,
and my ears hurt so bad.
Yes. Okay, can I tell you what I did?
Yeah, go for it.
Because on this flight, they give you over-ear headphones for the in-flight entertainment.
This man's a genius.
And what I did was on the inside of like the ear cups, I put the mask over that so it wasn't pressing down on my ears.
Yep.
So I did that for most of the flight, and it like
you just permanently had to have earbuds on though. Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing. I actually watched 2 movies on the flight.
Uh-oh. Which ones?
And they're movies that you will never have guessed. Because I just was like, you know what? First of all, one of them I'd heard of. Yeah. And it was like an indie movie that it was called Save Yourselves.
Okay.
It's like from last year. One of the stars is the guy from Stranger Things who was from Chicago, John Reynolds.
John Reynolds.
Yeah, John Reynolds. He was like one of the deputies in Stranger Things.
Okay, I just thought you were gonna say Joe Keery, but that's the DePaul guy.
No. Yeah, that's the DePaul guy. Yeah, it was fine. It was literally nothing special at all. It wasn't bad. It was a way to spend 90 minutes. But here's the thing: the second film I watched, it was a ride, Karsten. It's a film that like. I almost thought about having you watch for this podcast, but I would
watch it. Yeah,
it's too bad. It's too weird.
I thought you meant it was good.
Film. No, it's the weirdest film I've ever seen in my life. And here's the thing: it was clearly at the time a big blockbuster film that I've never heard of. But it's a film that stars Billy Crystal and Robin Williams, right? And also Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
It's called Father's Day. And the entire film, directed by Ivan Reitman, who did he direct Ghostbusters?
Could have. I bet he did.
Let's see it.
Father's Day movie.
Yeah, directed Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
Yeah. So you don't understand what this. Let me explain what this film's about.
Yeah.
There's a woman who her 16-year-old ran away.
Yeah.
And so what she does, because I guess she has a husband, and what she does for some reason is goes to 2 guys she dated at the time, like around that time, pretends that the kid is their kid, and then tells them to go look for him. So the 2 people that she does this to are Robin Williams and Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Right. So then, of course, very early on, they run into each other because they're like trying to find this kid.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait, you're the father? I'm the father of this kid. And then they team up to find this kid. And they find the kid pretty early, right? But here's the thing. The kid, here's the thing about the kid. You know where he is? You know where he's hiding out? He's going on tour as a groupie for Sugar Ray. And then Billy Crystal at the Sugar Ray concert starts headbutting people.
Dog, you're honestly making a strong argument for this. Strong case
you don't understand you don't understand one of the central plot points of this film
is that the
is
kid,
the lead singer of Sugar Ray, playing himself, steals the girlfriend of the kid. And this girl has to also be a teenager, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
so
not.
This is the plot point of this is the lead singer of Sugar Ray grooming a teenager.
Yeah.
As himself in a film. It's
called Father's Day.
It's called Father's Day. I was watching this and all these things kept happening and I was just like, and I'm on like this 8-hour flight and I'm just watching this happen.
That is insane.
Yeah. So if anyone's out there looking for the most insane film that I have seen, it's Father's Day.
Oh my God.
And also, I think one of the most insane parts is that it stars Billy Crystal and Robin Williams, and it's not funny at all.
It's supposed to be a buddy comedy, apparently.
Yeah. It's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy.
It is buddies.
It's just buddies. Yeah. They're definitely buddies.
I think a lot of the jokes are just Robin Williams in weird outfits. There's a whole sequence of him trying on different outfits, pretending it's for when he was going to meet the kid. He's pretending to be different people by wearing different outfits. It's very weird.
This is I really want to watch this movie now. I'm being completely serious. Like I would watch this. It sounds kind of funny.
It's more weird than funny, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that's why I almost recommended us to watch it for the podcast after seeing it, but it's just everything I said in those 5 minutes is all there is to say about this movie.
It bombed at the box office. I don't know if you know this.
I am glad.
It had a budget of $85 million and made $35.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
The real question is, why does Air France have this as one of the films in their 150 film lineup? They offer 150 films, and Father's Day is one of them.
Yeah.
Air France, do better, guys.
Fully believed. Well, I fully just expected you to watch First Man on the flight, not Father's Day.
I did look for it. I was like, this would be really convenient. But no, I watched it today.
Damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
So that's how France is going.
Yeah. Besides that, I've only been in France for about a day and a half.
Yeah.
And it's rained a lot so far.
Okay. You really
So I just went to a grocery store today. Yeah.
Was it a Monoprix? Or
I don't speak French, Karsten.
It was just that's just the name. A Monoprix? Was it that?
No, it was like a Carrefour.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
If you were gonna say in English, it's like Carrefour.
Carrefour, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Carrefour
it's
and
French,
Monoprix.
so it's all these syllables that we can't pronounce.
Carrefour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. One of those, probably close-ish.
I think it's so funny. First of all, I went to my first party the other night. First post-COVID party.
Post-COVID. That was the important note.
Not ever. that's the important one. I forgot to say. And it was just a bunch of our buddies, and I kept telling everybody this was like my party fact. I was like, Jeff's going to France. And that was pretty much all I had to offer, because they were all like all your CineSpace coworkers. So I was like, they know Jeff.
Yeah.
So my point is, I said that because I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I can't wait to see the pictures Jeff sends. And you sent me one photo, and it could have been in Naperville for all we know.
Yeah. The thing is, I forgot I told you the exact city I was going to. Yeah. So I thought it'd be funny to send you just a random photo and say geo-guess. It would have been funnier if I didn't tell you where I was going, and then you actually could guess.
I had to guess, yeah.
It turned out you were exactly right, because
because you told me. I was like, I'm thinking Rennes, France.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the even more, because I'm just south of Rennes.
Okay.
It's still on the same bus line and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone somehow can find me, I'm gonna tell you. But the actual smaller village I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what it's called?
What's it called?
Okay, so it's
Father's Day.
It's spelled It's spelled HOT as the first word.
Right.
And the second word. Or wait, no, sorry, it's not HOT. Let me look on the map. I might just be doing the anglicized.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, no, yeah, sorry. It's not H-O-T. I was like, wait, that's the English word. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, it's le, so L-E.
Le. Yep.
Second word, H-A-U-T.
Okay.
Okay, and then last word is B-O-I-S.
Le Hot Boys. Jeff is in Le Hot Boys.
Oh, you better believe that I am absolutely getting a picture taken at the bus stop that says that.
That's so funny. Have you seen the Hot Boys that are there?
I've seen the Hot Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also a school that's called the Hot Boys School.
That's so funny. Oh my god. I want to visit there.
Yeah.
I look, because that's the funny thing about a town name is everything in that town is the town name plus the thing. It's like the Hot Boys Church. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow. Hot Boys Town Hall. Yeah. That's great. I forget what I was gonna. Oh, it was a bad joke. Never mind. Well, that's cool. Are you traveling at all? Like, I know you've touched on this, but are you like going anywhere?
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna be in this spot in like going into like Rennes, in the surrounding areas on like day trips for a couple weeks, and then I'm gonna probably try to find another like country after that.
Nice. Another place.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna because I have like a nice spot here.
That's pretty cool.
For a couple weeks. So yeah, it should be a good time.
That'll be awesome. I can't wait to see all the different. And this is the first time the YouTube viewers will be able to see your different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Letting you in.
Yeah. I mean, this one's not that exciting. I mean, I actually also this place I'm staying has like roll down shutters. So this is like a roll down shutter I could roll up. So it can get like pitch black in here.
Damn. Yeah. Wow.
That's I don't know why everywhere doesn't have that. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how many plants you have in there too. You really.
Yeah. No, it's very. There's even like more like on the back corner over there. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's very funny actually. There's a giant poster off to the side, like giant poster, like bigger than movie sized.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking.
Your size, like a man,
almost my height. It's probably 5 feet high. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what movie it's for?
What is it? Ishtar?
It's a movie that but it's a movie that we've done on this podcast.
Is it French?
Well, the movie's not French, but the poster's French, so that doesn't help.
Listen, you've given me like over 100 movies to guess from. I cannot tell you.
I'll give you one guess.
Wild Hogs.
You think that someone would decorate a apartment in France with a poster of Wild Hogs? I should make my own Wild Hogs poster that just says like with a movie quote that's like I loved you in Wild Hogs, and that's me. Anyways, the correct answer is Big Fish.
Wow, that's a fun poster too.
Yeah, it's the poster, with the tree growing out of the text.
Le pesque, grand pesque.
So, I gotta tell you that they didn't actually translate the title for French. It's just still Big Fish.
Okay, it's still Le Big Fish.
It just has all of the it says tout droit. I can't speak any French at all. I never learned French. Une adventure plus belle que la vie elle-même.
Yep.
Something like that.
That's awesome. Well, that's great.
Imagine if someone only heard that 3 seconds of the podcast and they'd be like, "What is this?"
I hope this is someone's first Karstcast episode. They're like, oh, so he's just one of them's in France and he can't speak French. Interesting dynamic. They don't talk about movies.
The only movie they talk about is Father's Day.
What if that was our movie section? We're like, yep, that's the movie for today.
That's the movie for today, Father's Day.
That's not the movie.
Catch it on Air France.
Yeah.
Now streaming on Air France. International flights. Anyways, do you have anything else to get to?
No, not really.
How's your week been?
I mean, it's been fine.
You said you went to the party.
I went to the party. That was cool. Nothing really special happened there. I met a fan there, which was funny.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just like, well, it's like I could see this guy and this other guy across the room like looking at me, and I was like, usually when someone looks at me that long, it means they know who I am. And then I literally saw his mouth he mouthed YouTube to whoever his friend was, and I was like, okay, yeah. And then he like really shyly came up to me and he's like, hey, I didn't want to be weird, but I've seen your stuff. And I was like, thanks. So that was cool.
You were like, thanks, but it is
thanks.
Weird.
It is weird. You ruined my night. I didn't say that. He didn't ruin my night. He was very nice. He was a nice guy. Yeah, that was the extent of that. We're almost done locking locations for Dirtbag, so that's cool.
Yes.
It's going well.
You fully cast?
Oh no, the cast starting to stress pretty hard about one of these roles, but it's getting there. It is getting there.
Yep. I'll fly back to
I know
and I'll be your
fully need Jeff to be there. Yeah.
Not to act. I'm terrible at acting.
Oh no, I was gonna have you act in it. Yeah. But yeah, that's been my week. I figured we would get right into the. I didn't really have any news today, and I also figured we'd just talk about.
We
talk
kinda,
Britney, but we don't need to get into the Britney stuff.
How about this? You describe your feelings on the Britney situation in 5 words or less.
Okay. Should have happened sooner, unfortunately. And by that I mean that's actually is what I mean. It's unfortunate that she wasn't able to come forward sooner. Right. It seems like it's been a very traumatic situation. It seems like a dated situation. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
You're right.
You know?
Because especially with like so much, outcry, it turns out that all the people were totally right the whole time.
Yeah, the leave Britney alone guy, fully in the right, I
mean, that was very early. Even then, the people more recently that were like about this conservatorship, they were all like the codes and stuff that they were looking into. I don't know if all the codes were right, but the general premise was right.
Yeah. I don't know if I took a peek at Britney Spears' Instagram recently in light of all of this, because I was just like, I wonder what it looks like over there, and it's very eerie. It's because it's just like up until this is all pre her testimony, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm so happy, guys, like living the dream, and like all these like really overly positive, like very clearly fake videos and pictures. It's just like, it's weird. It's very like controlled, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like yeah, it's just been on the mind. I kind of want to watch that Britney Spears doc that everyone was kind of talking about a while ago, but that's not the movie we talking about.
That's not the movie today. This week.
No.
They were watching something topical.
First Man.
A 2018 film about the 1960s.
Yep. It's all the buzz these days.
Because of Buzz Aldrin?
Because that should have been the tagline.
In the tagline of a biopic about Neil Armstrong is the name of the guy with him.
Yeah. All the buzz.
All the buzz. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this is a 2018 film directed by Damien Chazelle, and the synopsis reads, hoping to reach the moon by the end of the decade. Not NASA. I almost said NASA.
You almost said NASA. You can't. Oh, my.
NASA plans a series of extremely dangerous, unprecedented missions in the early 1960s. Engineer Neil Armstrong joins the space program, spending years in training and risking his life during test flights. On July 16th, 1969, the nation and world watch in wonder as Armstrong and fellow astronauts Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins embark on the historic Apollo 11 spaceflight. That's a long, it's a very loaded synopsis, but it gets loaded there.
Although the whole thing about the actual like moon flight is such a small section of the film that they wasted like half the synopsis on. And also, Michael Collins gets his name in the synopsis when he's in the film for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. Let's talk about okay. Well, yeah, this is a 2018 movie.
Right.
It is not relevant at all, but I'm glad we're talking about it cuz I do really like this movie.
Me too.
It was one of my favorites of that year. I think I put it at like number 9 for that year. Like I really liked it, and it's interesting cuz Damien Chazelle was like hot off of La La Land and Whiplash, which were two very like similar movies, but like big hits, very like accessible. Like everyone, it's hard not to love both of those movies. And this movie has no jazz in it. From what I remember, no jazz.
I mean, there was that they played a cassette on the spaceship the one time that was almost jazz.
Yeah, but
that was about it.
It just feels like this completely different directorial style, and just not just the jazz, but just like everything. It just feels very different for him, which is crazy considering just how like new of a director he is and how successful he was with the other stuff. It was just like a risky move, I guess, but I like it. Yeah. And this was your first time watching it.
It was. I mean, now, you know, we've already talked about Whiplash on this podcast.
We have.
So,
we got to talk about La La Land. I actually can't believe we haven't talked about La La Land. Well, we did talk about it a lot in the last episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone roasted us in the subreddit, I think, saying that we don't like any musicals that aren't La La Land. Which is, I'm not even gonna touch it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. You liked this movie?
I did like this movie. Now, I didn't like it as much as Whiplash and La La Land.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think it's fascinating. You know that obviously Damien Chazelle's. You know, you said it's a very different film.
Yeah,
but a lot of the parts that could be similar, you could tell. You could tell his directing influence there. Like, because there's a lot of quiet moments and like reflective moments in this.
Yeah.
That I think have a hit of a lot of the same emotional beats as at least Whiplash.
Totally.
You know, with these like, because a lot of Neil Armstrong by himself.
Yep.
Yeah, and also just the like various close-ups of things in motion. So in this case, it was like space controls.
Yeah.
Obviously, in Whiplash, it was drumsticks and drumming.
Yep.
But they had the same emotional impact.
Totally.
Which was to give me tons of anxiety. that the spaceship was going to blow up or they was going to mess up drumming. That's
true. Yeah. La La Land doesn't have a lot of that, but you're right. This is a very anxiety-inducing watch. Not a light one. I do notice now, right when you were saying that like there is a similarity with this and his other movies where it's like all his stuff are focused around a character who has like extremely aspirational like goals,
and also obviously very brilliantly selected to make a film about, and that they're these jobs or activities that are very precise and easy to mess up, and if you mess up it's catastrophic.
That's true. Yeah that is because
that's the thing.
Wow, never noticed that. But First Man is a lot like his other movies. But yeah, that is a thing that I like about this. It kind of fits into this same category as like Ad Astra for me, where it's this space movie that's not about space, really. It's like more of a character piece on the guy, which I think it succeeds at. I felt like this was, Yeah,
I totally agree. And I think, it came out maybe, it was within the same couple of years as a few other biopics. Like The Theory of Everything, I guess it might have been a couple years earlier or around the same time. And then also the Imitation Game.
Right. And not to mention like the musical biopics too. It was just littered with that.
But all of these came out at least in the same couple or few years, and this was the only one that I felt rose above like a very straight, like standard version of a biopic. So I think that was my biggest issue with those other two films is they were like pretty good and like clearly sort of like Oscar baity, the same way that Trial of Chicago 7 was. And that it's just this very, very straight retelling with no kind of, I don't know, filmic undertones. I don't know.
Yeah.
You understand the general thing I'm trying to say, at least?
I fully do, yeah. Because I feel like a lot of biopics, I agree. I don't even think about this movie when I think about the biopics of the last few years, and that's a good thing because it stands alone as like its own thing. And I think like most of these biopics are just being cranked out because like people go to see those movies because they like the figure or they're interested in the subject.
Yeah.
They're not, and it's like a movie can just coast off of that and succeed. Yeah. And that's what like all of these are. Bohemian Rhapsody is like the pinnacle of that, where it just relies on Queen. And First Man's like the complete opposite, which is like, you know, I feel like instead of just showing us what happened, it's like getting us in there and trying to like understand the figure a bit better. And I think it's really good at doing
I think it's raising the subject matter because I don't, you know, these other ones, I guess especially The Imitation Game, like the film is mainly about the entire actual event that is of interest to people.
Yeah.
Where the main event that is of interest is such a small part of the film.
Yeah.
It's like the last 20 minutes, really. The rest of it, you can't really coast on the actual moon landing. Mm-hmm. You know, the rest of it is telling this version of Neil Armstrong's life that people aren't aware of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting, I think.
I think that's like... I also, and I'm not all entirely caught up on my Neil Armstrong stuff, but just based on this movie and from what I know, it's like he also seems like a very like closed off figure, which is why I think like someone like that doing something like this, it's like, of course that'd make for a really interesting biopic, like a difficult one to pull off, but like that's what I think is so interesting about it is... And Ryan Gosling's like perfectly casted for a character like that, just because he's got this very stoic presence, and it just all works.
It would not have worked if they cast Robin Williams or Billy Crystal.
And then somehow Sugar Ray gets involved, and
no, actually, I think the lead singer of Sugar Ray could have done a good job.
Yeah,
as Neil Armstrong. I was about to go into like some Sugar Ray parody that would somehow relate to space, and I just want to say that I'm like every morning there's a spaceship hanging. No,
I
didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and honestly,
I only know 2 Sugar Ray songs.
I honestly don't think, looking at our demographics, and this is kind of sad, that like a lot of our, and I could be wrong, that a lot of our listeners are ridiculously familiar with Sugar Ray.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm ridiculously familiar with Sugar Ray. I know 2 Sugar Ray songs.
Accuse you of that.
And I don't know I know like, I really actually would take offense to someone saying, you look like a Sugar Ray fan. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it can't be good.
Yeah. We're really hitting the relevant topics today. Sugar Ray, Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you think of I feel like this is a very divisive part for a lot of people, but what'd you think of like the cinematography of this movie? Because there's a lot of crash zooms and it's kind of documentary.
I liked this. So I actually really like films that do period camera moves.
Yeah.
So another film, this is not necessarily a period camera move, but something similar is Darjeeling Limited does those incredible, like insane, like, you know, snap zooms.
Yep.
Just because it's like mimicking a lot of Indian filmmaking.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like interesting. Totally. But I think it's the same thing where when you have, you know, and the same thing with the color of this film also accentuates that 60s.
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah. I mean, I like those
totally.
things just because they're fun.
That's a good point. That's just another thing that I think separates this from a lot of biopics that go like the same color palette and the same type of look for everything they do. Like I like Rocket Man, but Rocket Man's look, in my opinion, sometimes is like indistinguishable from like Bohemian Rhapsody and Straight Outta Compton, even though I think Rocket Man's just so much better. And I think Straight Outta Compton's pretty good too, but yeah, I Anyway, it's separate tangent. Also, there's a lot of light coming in, and it's making me look.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, what else is there to say about this?
Yeah. First Man. Do you think there's going to be a sequel called Second Man?
Second Man.
It's about Buzz Aldrin.
It's about Buzz, yeah. Yeah. It's about Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Aldrin is actually the opposite in some ways of Neil Armstrong, and that Buzz Aldrin loved attention.
Yeah.
Buzz Aldrin, I don't want to speak about Buzz in the third person, second person, dead person, former person. He's still alive. That's what I meant. I don't know. I didn't mean past tense. That's what I meant.
You really
past
threw
tense.
me for a loop here. I was like, what is he saying?
Past tense is what I meant the first time. I'm like, third person, second person? No, past tense.
Yep.
Because Buzz Aldrin is still alive. Did you see that video of Buzz Aldrin punching that guy who was a flat earther? Or no, he wasn't a flat earther. He said the moon landing was fake.
Really?
He was a moon landing conspiracy theorist, and Buzz Aldrin punched him.
That's amazing, to be honest. Wow.
Yeah, it was like a few years ago. It was pretty funny.
Damn. Good for Buzz.
Yeah.
I wonder what Buzz...
Do you think the moon landing's fake?
No. No.
Would have been such a... If you said yes, I would have been like, then why did you like this film?
Have you heard of that... Also, wait, I never told you what the answer to the trivia question was.
You did not at all. There's going to be a few people who are paying attention that are going to be so frustrated.
These guys. Let me just answer it real quick. Well, it actually went away. I accidentally pressed a button. It's called an avalanche when you do 3 rocks in a row. It's called an avalanche.
Can you even have an avalanche of rocks? Isn't that just like a landslide?
Yeah, that's just But I bring it up because there's a movie, coincidentally enough, called Operation Avalanche. It's a mockumentary, and the synopsis is in 1967, 4 undercover CIA agents were sent to NASA, posing as a documentary film crew. What they discovered led to one of the biggest conspiracies in American history. And I think it's like, it's as if like the moon landing was faked or something. From what I remember. And it's a really funny mockumentary by Matt Johnson. Anyways, yeah.
You know what? That just reminded me. On my Air France flight, there was also the option to watch a movie called Downhill or Slope or something. Downhill
with Will Ferrell?
With Will Ferrell.
I've
never heard of that. Is it good?
No, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, okay, it looked bad.
It's an American adaptation of a I think I don't want to say Swedish. French. French movie called Force Majeure. That's
okay. So it is
better.
It's the French. It's the American version of that French film. Okay, so I've heard of that and I've never seen it.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, everyone's seen the clip where the avalanche hits the family.
I have not seen that clip.
Okay, it's like a scary clip, but it's like really well done, and the American version is just so ass. It's not funny.
That's making me think of the Mac and Me clip that everyone's seen.
I don't know the Mac and Me clip.
Didn't we watch Mac and Me for this?
We never watched.
Podcast?
That does seem like a thing we'd watch, but I never watched Mac and Me.
So you know the thing with Mac and Me, though, right?
No. I just know Paul Rudd is associated with it.
So Paul Rudd, whenever he would go on Conan's talk show, which just ended last week.
Yep. Watch that.
To promote his movie, instead of showing the clip for the movie, he would show the same clip from Mac and Me. It was the funniest thing.
That's an amazing bit.
Yeah, and it's this clip where this kid in a wheelchair flies off a cliff and some really creepy alien like saves him.
I've seen the picture of the alien. I know what the alien looks like, but I don't think I've actually seen the clip itself.
Yeah, it's the best clip. Honestly, I think it's a good enough clip where right now you should watch it.
I'm going to look it up.
I just want to hear your reaction to it.
And Me clip. Paul Rudd's first Mac and Me wheelchair scene live.
Yeah, that's the one.
Uncensored. Yeah. What are they?
There's nothing to censor. That makes it sound like you see the alien's genitals or something.
Okay,
and
so the kid's going down the cliff right now. He's pushing himself down it. There's a girl chasing after him. Oh no, he's trying to brake. He's not pushing himself. It won't brake. Oh my god. This is okay. Wait, because it's just me. This is hilarious. That kid straight up fell off the cliff, and then Mac. Is that Mac?
Max the alien. Yeah.
Max the alien just pops up, and he looks terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's named Mac, if I remember correctly, because it's like branding for McDonald's. Because they eat at McDonald's and there's a whole dance scene.
They want to name McDonald's after that?
No. They named him after McDonald's.
But they want that association, is my question.
Well, that's the big crazy thing about this, right? They made this film as a ripoff of E.T.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
But the part that doesn't make sense is why didn't they do some kind of like audience testing for the alien to not look creepy?
Yeah.
Why
the shot of
so
the
creepy?
Alien going underwater is so funny. And then he carries him out. Yeah, we should watch that. That looks that looks phenomenal.
But yeah, if you ever after this, you should look up you should Google or on YouTube type in like Paul Rudd Mac and Me, and you'll
the Conan thing was the first. Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
It's great.
Cool. Well, anyways, First Man. We can honestly probably. Well, I'll do my usual award points here. Mm-hmm. This was like marketed as, or not marketed, but like posed to be this huge award-winning movie that was going to sweep the Oscars. Like it was posed as kind of like Oscar bait, and I think it took home like 1 award or 2. It may have taken home nothing. I don't really remember, but it was a very it got heavily snubbed. Didn't even get a Best Picture, which was I felt like it was worth bringing up. Yeah.
I want to say one negative is occasionally the score is kind of bad.
Yeah, it's not the best score. I didn't love
it.
So
there was one part that literally the score took me out of the film. It was one of the space scenes, and they tried to make it like a space themed score. So it was this kind of synthesizer thing, but it was like almost. It sounded like someone went into GarageBand, picked like a stock synthesizer, and did like a arpeggio sequencer thing.
Yeah.
And they're like done.
They spent the budget on the rest of things, and they were like, "Oh fuck, we forgot about the score."
All right, anyone have GarageBand?
Yeah. Yeah. I looked up before we came on here because this was one of the few movies. I had this hot streak, not a hot streak, it was actually a cold streak back in whenever this came out, like fall of 2018, where I just did traditional movie reviews on my channel, like the old school ones where it's just face talking to the camera.
Yeah.
And this was one of the movies I did that for, and I stopped doing that because no one watched them. But I watched my review for this, and it's very cringy. It's like I need to privatize that one too. But yeah, I don't think a lot of my opinions have changed. I think it's just a great movie that came to do what it did, and
yeah. I mean, how do you feel about the length? Because recently we've been on a streak of saying films should be shorter.
No, I think this was like I had no issue with this being.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. Because it's what 2 hours 20 or so.
Yeah. Well, when I saw this in a theater, I saw it in one of those big Dolby situations at AMC, and it actually paused in the middle of the movie, and the sound went out. And because it's a space movie where that happens a lot, no one knew if that was where everybody was like, "Oh, it's still going," and then it just shut down, and everyone got really pissed. But
yeah, I will say that this room I'm in has a clock that ticks. So whenever the sound would go like out for the space parts, I would then just only hear clock ticking.
Right, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, First Man, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
What would you feel for a score here? Any closing thoughts?
4?
4? Okay.
I feel solid 4. I like it. I liked it a lot, but it it's hard to rate this for me. I don't know.
I agree. I think I gave it a 4.5 back in the day. I do think
that's where I would. I'm in between those two.
It's a film that doesn't do a whole lot of wrong, but we kind of joked about talking about it because it's kind of just sure, it's a great movie that after a few weeks you'll never think about again. And I didn't.
Right.
I still love it a lot, but I did forget about it until you brought it up this week.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's holds it back from being like something really special.
Yeah.
Which
it's
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the most memorable film.
Yeah, but
is what it comes down to.
Still pretty solid. I think I'll give it I think I'll stick it at. I'll keep it at 4.5 for now. To be honest, I like it a lot. I think it's pretty. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Dude, I love this background because every now and then stuff will pop out of. Like, sometimes your microphone will disappear, and then a lot of times the top of your hat disappears.
Yeah. Right now,
your arm just disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, my microphone's in space. That's a bad bit. Let's move into questions.
Wait, can you look like you're floating away?
Yeah.
Like there's no gravity?
Well, I'll just disappear.
That's pretty good, actually.
Thanks. Yeah. I aced the mime unit in our 6th grade theater class. Did really well with the mime unit.
I hope I see some mimes.
Yeah.
In France.
That's what you came to France to see. Yeah.
Yeah. What if that was like that's clearly not an actual thing that you just see all over the place.
I know. I didn't see one mime when I studied abroad in France. I should have brought that up to my teacher.
Did you wear a beret?
I never wore a beret. No. I don't even think I saw that.
That'd be funny if I did.
Yeah, you wore like a beret and like striped shirt and like
I take tons of photos and put them on Instagram.
you should. You're like enjoying France. That'd be really good.
That would be a really good bit, but I don't think the people here would like understand it.
No, you do look really French. With
That's
your
the thing is
I
look pretty French.
Let's move into questions.
Yeah, let's do that.
I just realized.
Question 1: Is Jeff French?
Is Jeff French? No.
First but common misconception
comes from Gavin Henderson from the Patreon. If you're a $15 patron, you get your questions answered in these episodes. And it goes, with the announcement of the upcoming video game adaptation of Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, what films could you see being interesting video game adaptations? Have you heard of that, by the way?
I didn't hear of that.
They're making Vertigo into a video game.
That's
and
crazy.
It looks ridiculous, but I think I might get it. I'm like, I think that could be a fun video. I'll be like, I played Vertigo. But I don't know. Father's Day? We got to stop talking about Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day would be a terrible video game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the missions would be. Like, stop Sugar Ray from stealing your girlfriend?
Yeah. We were...
it's like Guitar Hero, but for Sugar Ray songs.
There's a ton of movies, I feel like. But I don't know exactly... I can't think of any. Like, all the Fast and Furious movies, they probably have video games already, to be honest. I don't...
Jumanji.
Jumanji would be great. Yeah.
Because, the new ones actually are a video game. Not like in real life, but that's the concept. So that'd be... Maybe they are in real life. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that would make sense if they were.
Mm-hmm. A Scott Pilgrim game could be fun, but that's based off a comic. I don't know.
I mean, there is a Scott Pilgrim game. You know that, right?
There is?
It's like one of the most
known video games?
beat 'em ups.
Oh. Yeah. Well, never mind.
Yeah, it was a beat 'em up that. So it actually, what happened was everyone loved it. I actually had it for my Xbox 360 back in the day, but then they made it unavailable for purchase, and then they made a remix version that just came out, I believe, this year or last year.
Oh wow!
So you could buy it.
I could get it. Yeah.
It was good.
Speaking
it was really
of,
good beat 'em up.
If everyone wants a video game recommendation, they don't need the plug, but Mario Golf is a really fun game.
Okay.
I've been playing it nonstop.
I was anticipating that. I don't have a Switch, but I was excited anyways because I loved Mario Golf on the GameCube.
Dude, it's great.
And the N64.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get it.
What they need to make is another Mario Baseball. That was great on the GameCube.
Super Sluggers or whatever.
Yeah, it was the best.
They should make a video game out of the Grand Budapest Hotel. I feel like that.
Oh, that would be kind of fun.
That'd be fun, sledding down the hill, and I don't know any other thing they would do.
I've told you that I had a Three Stooges game for my Game Boy Advance, right?
No, unless I'm forgetting.
Maybe, I don't remember, but anyways, it was the worst game ever. There was like 5 different activities in the whole game, and you had 30 days to save like an orphanage or something and get money from the activities. So you had, for 30 rounds, you just had to pick one of like 5 games every single time.
Wow.
You just had to keep replaying them over and over again to accumulate money.
That's funny.
That was the whole game. It was terrible.
That sounds terrible, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll try to come up with one real quick thought. Brink. the inline rollerblading.
The Brink fans are just like, yeah, Jeff.
Or Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah, that could be fun. Point Break too.
Ooh, Point Break actually would be awesome. That'd be a great like first-person shooter.
Probably is a video game for the
Point Break has to be the answer.
Yeah. Okay. This next one comes from Educational Bull 186, and it says, "I have a question for Karsten and maybe Jeff if he listens to them. What's y'all's favorite Vampire Weekend album? I've noticed hints on Letterboxd and other social media that Karsten likes them, and I want to know more of what he thinks of them as a whole." I do like Vampire Weekend. I think they're just like a band where I'll listen to whatever they put out, but I'm not like a diehard fan. And I'll be the one to say it. I thought their new album was pretty good. It got nominated for like best album and stuff, but like I feel like it just didn't have the hype from like the kids the way their other stuff did. And I personally thought it was really fun and good. I'm forgetting what it's called.
Yeah.
Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride.
Yeah, it's a good album.
I will say I never got like big into Vampire Weekend for their newer stuff, but I did listen to their first album, Vampire Weekend, all the time when I was at college. So I guess I got to pick that because I think it's the only one I ever listened to as a complete album.
I feel like they're just a great college band. You get really into them in college. Because I didn't like them in high school, but for some reason when I got to college, I was like, "This is hitting. That's
what happens.
Something's working about this." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this last one, is just for you, but it's a fun question. Now I'm gonna read the whole thing. It comes from Roller Skate Butterfly, and it says, "For Jeff, Montreal or Tampa, who do you think will win, and what do you expect?" And I ask this because below it, Alphabet Order Bot responded saying, "Would you look at that? All the words in your comment are in alphabetical order," which I didn't notice. For Jeff, Montreal or Tampa. And apparently, out of 34 million comments, 10,000 of them are in alphabetical order. Anyways, say what you're going to say.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So my hometown hockey team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, are in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Woo. Nice.
And they're playing the Montreal Canadiens, who are like the first time they're in the finals in a very long time, and the Canadian team has not won in a very long time either. It's been decades since the Canadian teams won the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Saying that, Tampa's going to win. Okay. Tampa's a better team. Tampa's the best team.
Yeah.
They won last year. Let's do it again.
Nice.
Let's do it again.
Go Tampa. Yeah.
Go Tampa.
Cool.
Now, saying that, I do like Carey Price, who's the goalie for the Canadiens. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Carey Price.
Got that.
Cool. Well, that does it for questions. If you want us to answer your question, go to the subreddit r/Karstcast or become a patron at $15 patron, and we'll answer it here. But we'll also answer $5 patron questions in our bonus episodes, which we have to do a second one pretty soon.
We do.
Not tonight, very soon, but pretty soon. Yeah.
Not tonight, but soon.
Lastly, let's do our wrap up. We like to read a review. We love hearing what you guys have to say about the podcast. We read every single review, confirmed. We read them all. And this week's comes from Autistic Fan Critic. Subject line: nice podcast for road trips, 5 stars. And it reads, "I'm only giving 5 stars, so you'll actually read this. My real rating would be a 3.5 out of 5. I really like how you two talk about film. You always make me interested in hearing your opinions, even if I disagree. Piece of advice: when expressing your negative opinions, I'd suggest expressing them in a more sensitive way. Example, instead of saying Subway is the worst, say you don't like Subway." That's actually
I
really...
think, I mean, that's very fair for the most part,
for sure.
Except in the case of Subway.
I was going to say Subway is very much the worst.
Is very much the worst. Now, I will say I've tried a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
And Subway is actually the worst. So I can say that, and that is a fact.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah, but I agree for other things where it's more of an opinion than a fact like that.
Yeah.
We can try to be more sensitive.
We will be more sensitive, yeah, for sure.
But in this case, Subway is the worst.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the 3.5 out of 5. means the world. Cool. Next, we want to announce our next movie. Jeff, do we want to hop into 1917 like you suggested, or do we want to do something else?
I think maybe we hold off on that and let you pick, just so we don't do two completely random, slightly old films. Gotcha.
Let me check what's popping. We could do... I don't know. I actually have no idea what we should talk about.
Not Father's Day.
Not Father's Day. We could do that. Well, actually, I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll
post it on the Twitter.
And we'll put it out later. Next, lastly, we'd like to thank our lovely patrons. If you've listened to all the podcast episodes you can on here and are looking for more Karstcast content, and you're not a patron, that's where you go. We have a lot of episodes on the Patreon that you can listen to. Or
if you don't like movies.
And if you don't like movies, that's...
Because we just answer questions
we don't talk about movies a lot
do
on the
GeoGuessr.
Patreon. Yeah, if you just want to listen to us play GeoGuessr, or watch us play GeoGuessr, or join us in GeoGuessr for our monthly Zoom hangouts, that's where you got to go. So yeah, head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Karstcast. And one of the other benefits is you get your name read at the end of every episode, which I'm about to do.
By Karsten.
By me.
In that same voice he uses for his YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That famous Karsten baritone.
Karsten baritone. So thank you. Antonio DeMarco, Ben Chow, Blake Root, Boyoyoyoy, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Chuck the Duck, Corella for Best Picture, Daniel Cook, David Sir, Eden, Gavin Henderson, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, Haytham Khan, I Don't Live in Ohio, Iva, Jane Easton, Jacob Colness, John Van Hout, Jordan Hill, Judy S., KDT, Kaylee Patney, Liv Rob, Martin Deff, Mary Lee Borslow, Meridian, Monroe Page, Nora B. Parks, Riley Ost, Skylar Ermel, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werbin, Jagerman Jensen, The Monopoly Man, Tom Lakes Beans, Vegard Strom, Vera S., Wes Kinley, Xavier Fossier, Youssef A., and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Thank you, lovely patrons, for the support. I think that'll do for today.
I think it will. I had a great time talking to you, Karsten. It's very late in France.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, I'm actually staying up to watch the Lightning game. It's tonight.
This man's jet lagged and still... That's crazy. I guess your sleep schedule's kind of fucked up still.
Oh, so yeah. It's messed up anyways. And the game starts in like half an hour. So,
all right.
I'm
going to go to dinner with my parents. So...
have fun.
Yeah,
tell them I said hi.
I will. I'll tell them Jeff is in France and he says bonjour.
I said bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
That's
good
there.
evening. Yeah.
Right?
Or you could just say salut. Salut. Anyways.
Isn't that goodbye? Or is that both?
I think it's both. What is goodbye, though?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Au revoir.
Yeah.
That's what we'll say right now to the fans.
Yeah.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Catch.
A bientôt. A bientôt.
Oh, yeah. A good... I don't know.
That's like the French catch you on the flip side.
Oh, okay. A bientôt.
Yeah. Catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
Flip side.